What's up, everybody? It's the after show, but later. It's your boys D and El Cucuy. If you guys are joining us live right now on Patreon, we appreciate it. We have a lot for you. Episode number 191. And I know you guys are going, 191? Well, it is. Episode 200 is just around the corner. But before we get started, we like to bring in the homie who fucking more than a year ago gave us this as the official intro. So baseline Trey, let's go, Holmes. Come on.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757. Hydro, the bass and blunts I smoke. That's exactly what I need.
The fuck? What's up, everybody? It's the after show, but later, episode number 191. It's your boys D. It's El Cucuy. We got a lot of shit planned for you today. Today is Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow morning, we have Covino and Rich back for a Thursday and a Friday show on Patreon. So if you missed them during the week, they did say that they're going to be back for the second half of the week, or at least the ass end of the week. So here we are. We got a lot for you.
Wax or no wax?
I'm not positive, to be honest, but I listened to that show that Rich does with
Have
Nicole
Smut,
Ryan.
they said?
Have fucking dirty ass, smut ass, fucking gross as you could fucking possibly be.
You would think, from me listening to it, I think he stabbed it once. I think Rich. Yeah.
I think once is an understatement. I think it had to be at least a handful of times. Dog, they're just I don't know. Gross. I don't know. Oh, Reinhardt, much better. Okay, so now I'm able to see that. Fucking
but he put that up about 5 minutes ago.
I just clicked the link.
No, I know. So I'm trying to help out.
All right. He put you liked it.
Hey, it just made me think that at one point or another, they've hooked up. They've had to have hooked up.
And I'm not hating on it. Good for Rich, because
I'm not hating on it either.
You know,
I'm just saying I know it happened.
I'd mash up Nicole.
You know why? You know how I know?
What?
Because I've never really had like messy breakups. Like I've always been cool, and even like chicks that I wasn't with back in the day, like the ones from the 90s, bro, or the early 2000s. I mean, if I seen them, they're not gonna be
2000s.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. So that it seems like something would be normal conversation if you'd hooked up.
Yeah. No, 100%. What do you call it?
I don't have that chemistry, Reinhardt. They do.
Yeah, and Reinhardt says she's bad as fuck.
That's a tough one for me.
Why?
What do you think? Is she bad AF? I don't pull her up while we're talking, just so I can answer.
I think she's
correctly.
bad enough. I mean,
no,
I wouldn't
bad
say
AF.
See, AF, dog.
Yes.
AF is AF is quite a statement.
What's her last name?
Ryan.
I mean, she got a good name.
Yeah,
but I've always heard though, and maybe this just is an old school like saying or a myth, but you never trust someone with two first names.
Yeah.
And she got them.
Nicole Ryan. Doug, I wonder what her maiden name is, because Ryan's her married name, and that's all I've ever known her as.
I mean, she's definitely not. She's pretty. I can't dispute that for sure.
Yeah.
But for me though, her voice when she talks, she just sounds like
she talks
too much like a dude.
Not only Doug, it's like that. I think that's what it does for me. I mean, that's where
that's what it does for him. Oh shit.
No, that's where I'm feeling it.
Yes.
Reinhardt says it's the skin tone. I don't know what he means by that, because
I couldn't agree more.
What
he said.
I don't get it.
He likes that color of skin tone. He finds it attractive.
I don't think he does though, because I know Reinhardt. He likes gingers and shit. So I don't know if he's saying that that's why we're not 100% on board, but I love bitches of all skin tones. So
yeah, no, I do.
Sure.
Well, I'm
not sure what he's saying,
except for the transparent kind.
I
I'm
see.
not big on that.
I dig the transparent kind too. You know.
If I could pop a pimple and see it perfectly while I'm staring at your calf, that's not for me.
If you could pop a pimple, hold on, Doug. I'm not even tuned in. You got me fucking thinking.
Think
If I
about
could
it.
pop,
It's so pale. You can see your reflection off of it. If I could sit there and pop a blackhead while I'm staring at your calf, I'm not into it.
I'm so confused now.
Because they're so pasty white, they shine. White girls.
So you're popping a pimple on
I'm
their face.
giving an example, guy. I'm giving an example. I'm not actually popping a pimple. Whether I'm fucking doing the Macho Man, oh yeah, or I'm doing the fucking Hulk Hogan. If I can see my reflection in this bitch's legs, she's not cute for me. And you can't really see that on a finer tone, as Reinhardt would say.
You can.
They have to be all lubed up, otherwise you ain't seeing shit. That reflection gonna bounce right off the skin.
Yeah. No. No. You know what? It's so funny because you hit me up about some shit that was going on the Have Kids They Said podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna mention something about before I had even listened. I was gonna tell you, yeah, Nicole, from listening to her years ago.
See, he does like the skin tone.
Yeah. No. Okay. I mean, so I get what you're saying now. He was saying the skin tone's what does it,
For
what
him,
makes her like fucking bad. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, to agree with Carl, that's the first thing I noticed when I pulled up the image.
Doug, this might be a little scandalous, and I don't know if this is gonna make the show that goes out to the world.
Why?
But I don't, Doug. I kind of feel like she has. I kind of feel like her nipples are the same color as like her skin tone. I feel like
What's wrong with
usually
that?
nothing. But I just never picture her nipples until I started talking about her skin right now, because I think typically her skin tone, the nipples go a little bit darker, but sometimes you're kind of surprised with that skin tone. You're kind of like, oh wait, they're a little lighter than I thought, meaning more to the color of her skin. And I kind of think that, I mean, dog, we just need to ask Rich.
I think the better question is, are they salamis or pepperonis?
I think, she has a good little titty. Yeah, this definitely ain't making the fucking.
Why not?
All right, she's got a little tit.
Rich knows. Come on, Rich. Pepperonis or salamis? Quit holding back.
I think she goes. Because
didn't they talk about bleaching your butthole or something?
Yeah.
Or waxing that blend in. They get deep on that show. They get more raunchy on that show than they do on Covino and Rich, and that's kind of weird.
Doug, you know what? Reinhardt just enlightened me, Doug. I never knew that's what they were called when a chick has a titty and the nipples like the same size as their titty or same color. But then you just got to look at the little dots around it to see, okay, that's where it goes from the boob to the fucking nipple. And they're called ghosties, dog.
Oh, I thought he was talking about white girl legs.
I think he's talking about the nipple when it's kind of.
What you talking about, Carl? Is the nip or is it the white girl legs? Are those ghosties or the pasty cakes?
Doug, there was something old filter. Oh yeah, okay. So I might have had a tuned in thought the other day.
Okay.
When I was listening to Have Kids They Said, may or may not, I don't remember, but I know this definitely was like a Black Mirror type thought, where I was thinking like, you know, that old filter that they're doing.
Yes, I heard him. I don't like it.
And you heard how he was like, we talked about this briefly on a previous show, but I was thinking about it because Rich was talking about like, oh, you know, you see yourself when you're old and you look like your parents and your parents aren't supposed to see you that age or some bullshit, whatever. But I was thinking, dog, like, what if, because they were saying like, if you do the filter and it doesn't age you very much, what if that's saying like, you're not going to live very
croak?
Long, right?
But think about it. But how can a filter tell you? That's just stupid asses starting nonsense.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to start some more nonsense.
I'm sure you are.
Because I started thinking.
You once made a video that said what's her face was in the shit, and she wasn't. So I believe you.
That what?
Fishel.
Danielle Fishel? Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I know you're all about that nonsense life, but go for it.
Okay. But I'm thinking about this. What if they had like a filter?
Bro, but that never. When you start a sentence with what if, where are we going?
Um,
I mean, what are we doing?
I'm just thinking, dog. I'm just
Okay, my bad. My
what
bad.
if?
It's like the little cloud when you're trying to write an article and you bloop, you're brainstorming.
Okay. And I say what if because in 5 to 10 years, this may be possible. That's why I'm saying what if. So imagine a future where there's an app or some
Is
shit,
Doc Brown
whatever
and
they
Marty
have,
there?
where you do this filter, and you know how Rich is saying, oh, if you don't age much in the filter, you're gonna fucking croak, right?
I heard
But
him.
what if you do this fucking age fucking app or whatever in the future with technology that we don't even have yet, and you fucking do it, and it shows you at like 16 or some shit, right? And you're like, wait, what the fuck? I'm 40. Why is it showing me at 16? And there was something where you fucking just like escaped death by like a millimeter. And that's the age you were kind of supposed to die at, but you didn't. So you do this filter and it shows you at like 24 and you're thinking about it and you're like, oh, fuck. I remember I got in that car accident at 24 and my car blew up. Shit, that makes sense that it shows me fucking at this age. Or if it shows you 119 and you lived a very safe life, I don't know, dog.
I know this. How about everyone deletes all their social media and all their online pictures and challenges that stupid ass filter to fucking age you backwards and show what you used to look like?
They have those apps. What are you talking about? They have those filters.
Do you think I fucking play with filters? It was just an idea. I don't know. I haven't did this filter. I didn't do those other filters. I haven't done this.
I didn't do this one either, but I just see them
it.
on like my feed as I'm scrolling through shit. Where
I mean,
it shows,
because what do I need to think about it? Like, we wonder why America's at an all-time high in depression and anxiety is because of stupid shit like this. How about you just eat right, exercise the best you can, try to use some type of product and live with the results? You know what I mean? They're all worked up. This has been the talk of the fucking TikTok world for like the last week. Why? You don't even know if this shit's going to come true.
Yeah, you don't.
And how many fat asses did it get into the gym so they wouldn't look like a slob anymore? I don't know. I haven't went since the filter came out. Have you? I mean, what is it? What? Tell me the positive. I'd like to know.
I don't know, but then again, I haven't done the filter.
With stupid shit like this, how it affects your life in a good way. Hogwash, and I'm not talking about for my junk.
Yeah,
right. Everyone's insecure and they're looking for validation. They want to be the one. Did you see my filter? And oh fuck, man, mine's fucked up. Like, why are we talking? Why? When did us as human beings be so gullible to be consumed with such bullshit?
Forever. What are you talking
about? And connected with bullshit. Like before your connection was you guys all shopped out of the Sears catalog. Or you had an Oldsmobile. Like, think about it, bro. There are millions of people online now talking about a stupid filter that ages you, and they're all interacting together. We never had this technology before. You could never interact with people like we can now. And look at the stupid shit they're choosing to interact about.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, I feel like that's a little silly to say, like, oh, like they're because I haven't done these filters, right? So I couldn't tell you. I did one a few years ago when the technology wasn't as good as it is now, right? But so what is it that you're hung up on? Is it the fact that they're like wasting time, or is it that they're not living in the moment?
You get 70 summers, and this is the fucking bullshit you're choosing to occupy this week of your life with.
Yeah, but you could say that about anything, about about a TV show you're watching, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know how it's any different
because a TV show is entertainment. If I'm watching a TV show, I'm admiring someone's work of art. This is fictitious bullshit that might not even come true. That's giving people fucking shit to babble about, and we don't even know how accurate it is. Like you said, there's so many,
right?
And they're elaborating. Now we're saying, oh, if you don't look that old, that means you're gonna die. Like it's gotten out of hand.
You're right. I agree. We don't know if it will, actually that's how you're going to look and shit, whatever. But people are being entertained by this.
They are being entertained. That's my point.
And I haven't used these apps. That's
my point, bro. That's my point. Collectively, as a world, multiple people on multiple levels and multiple age groups are consumed with this. And that's what they're choosing to connect. It's not love. It's not how can I make someone better. Like you said, I'd rather be on your TikTok looking for their construction solvent problems.
Oh yeah, those are.
You know, there's
dope.
so much valuable information on TikTok if you use that the right way. It's a great tool. And it just, I mean, think about, again, people can choose to do whatever they want with their time. But let's just think it that week if you were on Duolingo and you're trying to learn another language, or I don't know, what are you getting out of fucking looking like you might look like something that you might not even look like? I don't know. I'm not consumed with it.
And you know what? And the thing is, I don't know because I don't do these filters and I don't know. All I know is like people are being entertained by it. But I'm just thinking, fuck,
it'll
like
pass.
the way the technology is going, who knows? I guess that's where I think about it because I haven't done any of this shit.
Tell me, speak to me.
But when I'm thinking about,
because I speak back,
when I'm thinking about a filter that I use, like I don't know, 2-3 years ago,
yeah,
and that shit was hella different than it is now. I guess my mind is kind of like, well, this shit is just stupid ass like technology on our phone for a dumb filter, right? But technology is advancing. So I'm like, I guess
it sure
I
is.
start to think about it as like, damn, if like, who
it
knows?
Sure
if
is
one
advancing.
Day,
you're right. You know, let's say that again. Technology is advancing. Sorry, continue.
So I'm thinking like, who knows if fucking 5 years, 20 years, fucking 50 years, 3 years, they'll actually have something like that actually can accurately predict this or that. So I guess where I'm thinking,
you know, my
like,
problem with that, because you just said it again. Let's go back to it. Technology is rapidly advancing. You know, the element of this conversation and discussion that we're not taking into consideration, how advancing those creams are too. So what are they predicting? That the beauty supply world and medical advances won't catch up to their stupid fucking filter? Because Revlon rejuvenates fucking eye cream, takes away wrinkles now. What are they going to have, like you said, in 10, 15, 20, 25 years?
Well, maybe these apps are taking that shit into consideration.
Yeah. I want to see the data on that, sir.
Have you built an app?
No, I know.
So how do you know? How do you know what they're
actually,
taking
you know
into
what I
consideration?
have? I built a pretty fucking mean app. The other night, I was fucking drinking some Frosties at Apple G's, and the app sampler that I got was dope. I mean, it was good. Wonton chicken tacos. They got those little fucking beef cheeseburger egg rolls. That app was dope.
So,
and I built it. I told them exactly what I wanted.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm fucking making such an argument for something I don't give a fuck about.
Me either.
But anyway, fuck it.
But that's my point. That again, that highlights my point. Here we are talking about some shit that neither one of us really give a fuck about because it's sweeping America. So we're caught up in the bullshit and we don't have an opinion either way.
Fuck. That's
and now we just took
hilarious.
up 10 minutes of our fucking show.
Okay, fuck. All right.
You see, that's my point about some fucking stupid app that either is correct or it's not. That's sweeping America.
All right. Well, I want to get fired up about Eddie, your DJ. All right.
Oh,
this dude's a fucking piece of shit. I'll just go ahead and say it.
Wow.
Because
okay.
Dog,
that's how you're starting it or what?
All right. So listen,
I'm about to get some mellow tree for this one.
So this motherfucker, dog, I remember.
And now you're like this motherfucker.
I guess because I see every time I see him on the Carl page, he's so fucking holier than thou.
Can I say something that you can cut out?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna call him Eddie or BJ because he's a cocksucker.
Yeah, fuck him, dog. I'll leave in Eddie or BJ. He could fucking blow me, fucking from behind while he's licking my butthole. Fuck him.
We'll leave that part and just took what I said out. You can leave in the Eddie or BJ.
Eddie or BJ, dog. I'm gonna fucking bite that from you, and I'm gonna start using that shit on the Carl page.
Hey,
Eddie
no, you didn't
BJ.
bite that from me. We came up with it. Because if he comes at you, he comes at me.
Yeah, well, fuck him, Doc. Fucking him and his,
Eddie
whatever.
Or BJ. He better get himself a new name and shit. Hey, that fucking .com was taken. He had the .com version, bro. He's so old.
Eddie or BJ.
He was on the intranet back in the day.
Oh, dog. He was on fucking what was it, Netscape or some shit back in the day. But it just makes me laugh. Fucking I have a question, dog. When did you stop using halves as far as your age? 3.5, 27 and a half.
Talking about buying chronic. No, I just want the whole thing.
Doug, when you're
You can
fucking,
keep
was
the
it when
half.
you
I
were,
want the whole thing.
was it when you were 2.5? Was it when you were
I heard
27
that
and a
on
half?
there. I thought, is it halves or was it months?
Uh, no,
Because
this says
on Have Kids, they said it was months.
you're right, but this is completely unrelated. This is something I
Okay.
saw on the Carl page right before we logged on today.
I mean, I don't.
But it's funny you say that.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me adjust my hat for this one. All right. I'm a man.
Uh-huh.
I'm a grown man. And what grown men do is after it would technically be the half, you can just feel free to round up. And if it's before the half, you stay the same. So if you're 34 in 5 months, most sucker, you're 34. If you're 34 in 8 months, you tell them you're 34, almost 35. You can call it 35. Who cares?
Yeah, I saw somebody. The reason why I'm asking is because I saw somebody on the Carl page post, and going back to your shit about skincare and shit, right? This chick had posted something, and she was like, got this procedure done on her face, and she was like, and I'm like 50 or whatever the fuck, right? And then somebody commented and they said, I'm 42 and a half and blah, 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 blah. And I go, I was all 42 and a half. I was like, dog, I haven't heard half since
Why would
like
you do
6. Yeah. I don't know. I never heard that shit that at that age, 42 and a half.
I think the gimmick, it depends what kind of childhood you have. So I think let me offer this suggestion, and you can tell me if I'm out in left field or if I'm, slide into home base.
Mm.
When you're a kid, if you had that upbringing and that lifestyle, maybe of better than some other people, and your parents celebrated those stupid half birthdays, and you got a present, or you got to go out to dinner. I think if that was the case, you never want to let that shit go. Why would you give up free shit?
Doug, I have a friend, one of my best friends, Erica. And I remember, Doug, when the first time I ever heard about a half birthday, we were in high school, and she was like, hey, my half birthday's coming up. And I'm like, what? Your aunt's birthday's coming up? What the fuck did you just say? And she
Your
was
rat's
like,
birthday's coming up. I didn't even know you had a pet rat.
I was like, your hat's birthday? I'm like, yeah, I've had this hat like a year, but I don't give it a birthday.
Yeah,
Doug, I didn't know what the fuck.
special.
And Doug, I still remember there's this local place here.
Not me, Carl, not me.
Doug, there's this local place here in town called Mr. G's, right? Mr. Gutierrez.
I want to go. When I come out there, I want to go to Mr. G's.
You're probably not gonna really dig it, because the honestly, the food's like mediocre, but it's just,
hey, but if I get tuned in, it turns mediocre to pretty damn good real quick.
So it, like, honestly, Doug, it's mediocre, but since I grew up eating it, it's just like, it's like a staple in my fucking life,
Okay.
But I remember we were there after school one day. We were seniors in high school. We were there, and she was like, oh yeah, my half birthday's coming up. And I never forget, Doug, they tore down the original building. They've built like 2 buildings since, right? Yeah. And I still remember we were in the original building, and I go, half birthday. I was like, the fuck did this bitch just say? Half birthday. I was like, what? So so you know what? You're right. Because to this day, dog, we're 35 years old.
Did she have money? Did she come from money?
No.
No,
she's just average.
Did she get a tres leches cake on her half birthday?
I don't know, but if she did, dog, I would be celebrating half birthdays too.
That's what I'm saying.
To this day, she'll be like, she's actually, I've known her longer than her husband, who's one of my best friends. And her husband is my friend Luis's cousin, right? So I've known her longer, and she'll even tell me now, she'll be like, Daniel, my half birthday's coming up. Like, oh, for real? The fuck Ralph gonna get you? He's gonna get you shit for your half birthday. And it's just funny because she's the like one of the only people I've ever known that like took that shit fucking seriously. Like, first person I ever heard from it,
Listen, back in my day, I only celebrated a couple of days, and that was it. Parents' birthday, I participated. Kids' birthday, I participated. Only thing I celebrated was the holidays I got paid for being out of work and my birthday. Because those are the days I got paid to be off. Every other birthday, I had to contribute, do something for it. I'll participate, but I can't celebrate me doing something for you. That's for you to celebrate because you're getting the shit. I'm just participating in that motherfucker.
Dog, that's a good fucking point. That's a good
I can't
point.
celebrate it. I paid.
Dog, I feel like
I'm participating.
dog, dog, that's like the best point you've ever made on this show because I don't know, dog. You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna celebrate, so and so's birthday. You're like, are you? Are you just gonna show up, enjoy the festivities, and leave, or are you gonna participate?
You know how many people had to sell their unvaxxed sperm to pay for those graduation parties? Or their kid getting married? They didn't sell. When you spent 100 G's to give away your daughter because tradition has the father paying, you didn't celebrate that shit. You participated and reluctantly did your part.
That's crazy, dog. You got me feeling like I'm tuned in just by the knowledge you're dropping on me today, dog.
Thank you. It was SVG, SFV. That's what I don't know. That's where I got my power from today.
SFV. Dog, I'm so fucking caught up in my fucking work and shit. I was like, SFVG. Okay, that's the screen that I use for. There's literally a screen called SFVG. And Doug, I was telling somebody at work the other day, I'm like, damn, I'm like, these motherfuckers have like their own language, huh? They're like, you got to run the ARTI. No. What is it? ARTM. They're like, once you run the ARTM, you got to make sure that you run that and you reconcile it with the fucking FAGV or some shit and the GLBT or TB. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
2 girls,
and then
one CUP.
After you do that, you got to get the FATR. You got to make sure that's okay. And then you got to do it FATP where you actually post it. And I was like, Doug,
gotcha. Hey, after these voice records, you can just go through that shit later and listen over and over and over.
Yeah, it's fucking funny. No, my boss the other day, she told me, she was like, I don't know what the fuck they were talking about, and I was in a meeting, and I was just like, and she goes, she goes, I know this all probably just sounds like German to you, and I go, actually, it used to. I go, but now it kind of sounds like Spanish. I'm like, I kind of understand what's going on, but I still don't fully get it. She thought that was the funniest fucking analogy she ever heard in her life. I was like, that's why I'm fucking here.
Hey, Carl, what do you do at the railroad, or can you tell us?
He's like a conductor or some shit, dog.
Really?
He's the one that goes, all aboard.
Nah.
Yeah, no, he's some kind of like engineer or some shit. He works on he knows all shit about like cars and shit. And he's helping me out while I was like working on my wife's car back in the day. And he's like, have you tested the fucking
He lays track or what?
Yeah, I forget some shit.
Well, I lay pipes, so fuck, we got a lot in common.
Oh, fucking dog, my fucking homie, he runs the fucking piping department at his engineering company.
I run the piping department in my bedroom.
He's an engineer. I told you, dog. He wears that little hat, that little Fallout Boy hat.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Haven't you ever heard of closing the goddamn door? That's fucking that's fucking Carl Reinhardt at fucking work.
Shout out Reinhardt. Hey, I want to play something for you. It's perfect timing. I got something. I want to just, if you want to chime in. I'm just going to play something and hopefully we can get some feedback later. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
That society is creating. Like, a lot of people are pretending to be happy, but they're not actually really happy or don't know what it takes to make happiness.
That's a major part of it, Rich.
Yeah.
Just a little something I heard. Tickled my fancy.
Did it tickle your sack?
It put a tingle in my dingle, so I thought I would just play it, and if we can get some input from the homies, we'll talk about it next show. Yes.
What do you call it? Fuck, there was something else that I heard. Let me see if I could find it.
I got a couple of things. I just don't remember what they were, but I got them recorded.
Not because I'm in shape. It's because I'm just skinny. I'll show you the picture in a second, but Spot, I do have to know, how do you feel?
Oh, okay. Now I know what this is. Could you hear that or no?
Yeah, I could hear it. Just fine.
Okay. So I went back, dog, today, and I listened to the very first
Chris
Patreon.
Berman, back.
Pretty. I went back. I did go back pretty far. So I went back and I listened to the very first Covino and Rich on Patreon.
All right.
And in this, I'm like, dog,
was somber.
how crazy it's crazy how a couple of years could make. This
Well,
was
there was COVID too, wasn't it? COVID time.
This was, let me look. It's right here.
COVID was, there was just, you didn't know.
This was March 2021.
So
a little over fucking 2 years ago. And listen to this right here.
Not because I'm in shape. It's because I'm just skinny. I'll show you the picture in a second. But Spot, I do have to know, how do you feel knowing that you're 40 years old and you look better at 40 than you did at 20 or 30? Do you feel like, fuck, you wasted all the potential ass you could have got? Or do you say to yourself, like, hey, I'm healthy now. I had a heart surgery. Like, are you trying to look at the positive or are you trying to look at the negative? If I were you, I'd be looking at the negative. Like, think of all the ass you would have slayed if you looked like this.
Do you get this guy? Yeah.
Do you think, Doug? I mean, I feel like this could have been the seed that was planted in Spot's head all them years ago.
I know this. I don't get more out of thinking the negative. If I was Spot, I would fucking get more out of sticking my boner in some hot thing and fucking living in the moment. I wouldn't worry about the past. Yeah, that's fine. You should have fucking did that shit a long time ago. But you got to live in the moment and appreciate the now. That don't, because if you dwell in the past, okay, let me ask you this real quick. When you go to therapy and you seek out therapy, they always start digging the things from your past. Yeah. I don't think it's healthy to hold on to that and wish this and wish that. And if I didn't know, it's not if I did, here's what I'm going to do. Moving forward, here's who I am. I'm going to crush it. Just watch and get your Kodak film ready or whatever you got.
You know what? I had that exact conversation with somebody, a relative recently, and they were talking about this and this that they should have done, that they could have done, that they regret. And I go, hey, you know what? You know, the good thing about that happening is that your arm didn't fucking fall off, right?
Right.
You still have all of your shit. You're still there fucking 100% in the fucking dome.
Right.
You can, what you do from fucking this conversation until you fucking die, it's up to you. So rather than sitting here and going, fuck, man, I should have done this with my kid, or I should have done that with my kid, or I should have gone to the gym more. Doug, yeah, you should have. But what's preventing you from doing that now? So this is where they were so fucking beating themselves up over choices they've made in the past. But I was like, hey, I was like, and I told him, I go, you know what? I know you're passionate right now. I know you're worked up because you care. I said, but at the same time, don't fucking trip on it, because there's a fucking future. Who knows how long you, me, Cucuy, fucking whoever's going to live. It could be 2 days. It could be 2 years. It could be 2 decades. It could be 200 years with technology. Who the fuck knows? But all I know is rather than dwelling on all that shit, take this second and start making fucking changes. It ain't fucking hard.
You know what?
To me, it's more, and we've all done it where we're like, man, I should have done this. But you know what? I as soon as I think that, I think, no, but fuck it. But from now on, I'm going to move forward. You know, I just heard about some dude, a former football player, fucking like over 360 pounds. Yeah, right. Dude fucking went on like a 40-day water fast and lost like 100 pounds. So
did it again and lost 50 more.
So you know what I said?
He's down to 192 or something. They said from 3+.
What the fuck is this? Just fucking water, right? So
well,
you know what I said?
What'd you say?
I go, I'm gonna go on a fucking water fast, right? And I said, fuck it, I'm not gonna do 40 days. I'm gonna do maybe 1 day, and I'm gonna kick ass. And then I got hungry, right? So that's beside the point. But what I'm saying is, fuck it. Okay, now let's go from this point forward. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking try again. Okay, fuck, you fucked up. Don't dwell on that. You know what I'm saying?
The key at the end of the day, man, if you want good mental health and at least the best mental health that you can have, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror, regardless of what you did, and forgive yourself, because you'll never get a clean start without baggage if you don't. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Even if you fucked up a relationship, or you know your kid hates you because you punched him in the throat. I don't know what you did, and I don't care. But at some point, you're gonna have to forgive yourself and say, I fucked up, and that'll never happen again. And I can't change that. All I can do is be the best version of myself moving forward. If you don't forgive yourself and you always hold yourself hostage for past deeds, and don't get me wrong, that's not this isn't a message to go forgive yourself and keep doing the same stupid shit, because you're going to get the same results. But if you're prepared to move forward and change the behavior, and you're not that person anymore, you can't hold yourself. At some point, you have to just accept what happened and move on, dude,
Doug,
and actually truly forgive yourself. You can't live in the past. You can't say, well, back then. You can't do any of that, because you don't get a redo, and you
You know,
shouldn't want one.
I'll give you a
Because
perfect.
what joy do you get out of changing the past? The joy is in what you do in the future.
Mhm.
It's psychological. You're fucking with yourself. What joy are you going to get to change the past? You don't get to relive it. No one gets to go relive the past. You didn't find the almanac and get to travel in time and go back and be rich like Biff. It just doesn't work that way. So worry about your future and the future relationships. Okay, you fucked that one up. Well, you know what? Don't fuck the next one up.
Doug, I remember. Fuck, let me see. My daughter must have been like a year and a half, 2, and we'd always fucking like give her a little fucking spank, right? Hey, give her a spank on her ass. Hey, don't fucking do that or whatever.
Okay.
And I remember one time I was like, she was fucking I don't know, she was throwing a fit about something, and I remember I gave her a spank, and she must have been like a year and a half or 2, and I go, no, she couldn't have been 2. I don't know, Doug. She was fucking little, and I remember the fucking second I go, the fuck am I doing? This shit ain't fucking like whatever. And if whoever spanks their kids, cool, whatever, fuck, whatever, that's you, do you. But I go, the fuck am I doing? I'm like, she's fucking like what, 2 at the most? I'm like, there has to be a fucking better way. That was the last time I ever fucking spanked her. Ever, dog. She's fucking 7, right?
Where's the power? Let me ask you this. Where's the power? Is the power in someone doing what you want because they're scared and intimidated of you?
Mhm.
Or is the power because they love and respect you? What power would you rather have? I'd rather have someone not do it because they don't want to disappoint, and they love and respect me, and they understand, you know, that I'm the head of the household or whatnot, whether they agree or not, but that respect and love and don't want to disappoint. That's a better driving force than I don't want to do it because he's going to fuck me up. Like that's
Doug.
monster behavior.
And Doug, I fucking just yesterday I had a conversation with Kennedy, right? And I was like, hey, I asked her, hey, did you do this? And she was like, she looked at me like, fuck, right? And I go, I just want you to be honest with me. Did you? And she goes, yeah. And I go, okay. I go, I'm telling you right now, don't do this shit again. And I said, you're promising me right now you're not going to do it again, right? And she goes, yeah. And I go, you know how important it is to keep a promise. I go, if you don't want to, tell me, no, you're not going to promise me. And she was like, no, I promise I won't do it again. And I go, okay, right now. And I was telling her, dog, as calm as we're talking. And I go, so the next time, I go, if this happens or I find out it happens, I'm going to be really upset, because right now you just promised me you're not going to do it again.
Right.
And I go, you understand? And she goes, yeah. And I go, okay, I'm not mad. I wish you wouldn't have done it, but at least now we're on the same page. When I will be extra pissed is if you do it again after we just had this conversation, because I could have very easily yelled at you, spanked you, done A, B, or C. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking talk to you because I know you're old enough to understand. And you're telling me, Doug,
Right.
I feel like that was so much more fucking effective. All right. Well, we'll fucking see you guys
Sorry,
in
brother.
episode fucking 192. Cucuy, I'll see you later, Doug. Peace.
Later, bro.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease